You are listening to We're Going Streaming podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at going_streaming, on Instagram at We're Going Streaming, and like us on Facebook at Going Streaming. Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of We're Going Streaming. This is our first episode in the year 2021. We got 2020 behind us, so that's good news so far. As usual, I'm joined by my co-host. I got Brian.
Hey, what's up? I have a disclaimer coming.
He has a disclaimer coming. And we got Pat.
Hi, I got a new boom stand, so should make podcasting more fun.
Great. That's what she said. And
boom.
That doesn't make sense.
Weird.
I'm sorry.
Not a lick of sense. Not a lick of sense.
Apologies to everybody. So like usual, we're gonna go through our previous episode. And our previous episode covered a bunch of holiday movies. Pat did Pottersville. Brian did the holiday calendar. I did El Camino Christmas. And at the end, we, as a little bonus episode, we reviewed Happiest Season, which was on Hulu, which kind of takes us to what this episode, or string of episodes is going to be about. And we're going to be covering Hulu. Previously we were covering Netflix. And also Happiest Season. I'm going to turn this over to Brian because he has a little disclaimer from the previous episode. So, Brian, go ahead.
Hey, everybody. So real quick, I just want to, apologize, but not really apologize, which means I really should apologize about the way we approached Happiest Season on our last episode. So, we're three very cis, very white, very male, sapiens. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I tan in the summer. So.
He does tan well.
Yeah.
So do I.
Okay, stop being weird.
Mm.
Okay, okay, cool. But
sorry.
But we did our best. I feel like we tried to understand what happened in Happiest Season, and I think we did. We personally feel like we did it justice. But I just want to say, if we insulted anybody in the LGBT community, especially when robotically insisting that you're normal, I just want to say, yell at us, let us know. I'm sorry. But I don't know. It's just kind of, when I re-listened to the episode, my whole thing was kind of like, Jesus, who are these three assholes who should have any sort of insight into the idea of coming out, right?
Right. Cringe-inducing at times.
It's rough, and I'm sorry. And if we offended anybody, obviously we apologize, because like Dolly Parton is, our motto's the same thing. We don't want to offend anybody. If we did, let us know, and we'll stop doing it. It's just as simple as that. Mm-hmm. We live by the mantra of Dolly.
Right. And you're free to nominate us for a GLAAD award for the last podcast.
I feel like we did a good job, though, in fairness. But anyway, that's a different... We'll let the
we
people
did the
decide.
Best,
we had
three
to,
straight
it was
guys
a good,
that
it was
were
a
drunk.
good discussion. Yes. I felt like it was a good discussion. But I also feel like it wasn't our place. That's for sure. Right? Yeah, and that's my point. That's my point. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's good to do that. Yeah,
I agree.
Okay.
All right. So
that's it.
Pat, anything you want to add, or
yeah?
Okay. So then we're gonna do.
We love people.
And if that disclaimer,
I love Jews.
Terrible.
Yeah, not sure if you
Terrible.
guys
And we're back.
Episode, but Brian is. And I got a disclaimer for the Jewish community.
It's like next episode. All right, now we got about a disclaimer for the Jewish community. We love you.
Next episode is just gonna be all disclaimers. Just we're sorry, guys.
It's like to everyone we've insulted the last
listeners.
7 episodes.
You're gonna have to sign a waiver to listen to our podcast.
Except fucking Chad. Fuck Chad from Brother Rice.
Chad's in, baby. Chad's in.
No.
Chad feels exactly the way we do, unfortunately.
Yes. So let's start off as we do every other episode, and we'll go over the if any of us watched the previous episode's recommendations. So we'll start with Brian again. Brian?
All right, so I did. I watched both. I was excited. I was excited for both and let down by one. So I don't know. Let's start with Pottersville. Pottersville was Patrick's choice for the holiday season.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah, great. Michael Shannon. He's great. That's fun. You also said you would watch this movie 100 times.
Yes.
And my
for Michael
experience was I would carve my eyes out 100 times if someone made me watch this movie again. No. That's not fair. Okay, so 3-word review. 3-word review. Michael Shannon slaps. Great. But outside of that, it's rough, man. Like the plot is just, it drags. I wasn't a big fan. I gave it 2 stars. 2 stars is my 2-star review. Honestly, my favorite part of this movie was Judy Greer. Just like getting some room to do stuff. Like just Judy Greer. Hey, she's not just some dumb idiot slut. Like in this,
right? Like every episode, every other thing she does.
Right, exactly. And my first experience with Judy Greer is Jawbreaker, right? I mean, that was my earliest experience with Judy Greer. Her, Reese Witherspoon, and Marilyn Manson. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it out there. There's the scene where he like fucks Rose McGowan. But anyway, but yeah, Judy Greer. Just like okay, so here's so yeah, it was good. The other thing I liked was actually, my favorite thing I think of the whole thing was the hot dog stand that called itself Bigfoot Long Dogs. Like, that's just clever. Great. Awesome. I would also take this movie as like a weird, not so much trilogy, but like maybe miniseries. No, okay. So here's what I want with this movie. I want to redo this movie, but I want Judy Greer to be the lead.
Okay.
Like, does that make sense?
Interesting.
Like, I want
it makes
her.
sense.
I'd rather flip it. A, Judy Greer needs to do stuff, and B, I want her to. Like, wouldn't that just be even more hilarious if she was running around in a Bigfoot costume, going like, Grrr! Like, I just feel like it would have been more slapstick in a weird, like Edie Kemper kind of way. I don't know. Does that make sense? But
okay. Yeah.
I just want more for Judy Greer. I don't know. That's the whole time I was watching this. I was like, God damn it.
Like...
I want more for Judy Greer. Michael Shannon's perfectly fine in this. He's undervalued. Like they barely use him. He's not really living up to his potential in this movie. He's kind of doing like, I just smoked a joint, Michael Shannon, which is just like, we're talking about. I mean, everyone's signing and just priding on the t-shirts and the Bigfoot. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, he's just doing that kind of thing. When
that was a really good Michael Shannon impression.
Like sometimes I want him to just like climb that ladder and be like, "Oh, this is crazy," but
yeah,
like I want him to just do that. Thomas Lennon was hilarious. I don't know. A favorite moment of the whole movie was Ian McShane's like Jaws throwback, where he's in the back of the crowd and he just hits the chalkboard. I'll catch you, Bigfoot, for you. Like just and actually, so I'm a big Jaws fan. It's probably top 3
Are
films.
You?
It's top 3 films all time, no question. But he's like word for word doing Quint's rant. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like it's literally like
no, definitely didn't.
Yeah, he's like I'll catch a bird for you, but it's gonna cost you a hell of a lot more than $5,000. It's gonna cost you $10,000. I'll bring in alive too. Like he's just hitting every beat of fucking Quint's rant and Jaws, which I loved. It was great. But yeah, I don't know. Pottersville, it was fine. I didn't love it. 2 stars. I can't believe re-listening to the last episode, you said you'd watch it 100 fucking times. It's a bit excessive.
I never said I watch it consecutively, though.
Okay, fair. I guess
the
in the rest of your life, that's still if you watch it once 100%. A year, you'd have to watch it. You'd have to watch it twice a year. Trust me.
Well, again, but the point is more. I'd watch it every year. Is more what the point I was trying to make.
You're gonna watch Pottersville every year. Look, dude, Michael Shannon's great in it, but this movie is fuck. Anyway,
It's not perfect. I will 100% agree. It's not perfect. I will give you that. 100%.
You gave it. I think you gave it 3 stars.
I
I
did
gave
give
it
it
2.
3.
I gave it 2. Yeah, which is fair.
Okay.
That's middle of the road. I understand,
Yeah.
but the plot is just ugh. But like I said, flip it with Judy Greer. I think I'd like it more. I think I'd like to see her, like a woman in that position, save a town, impersonate it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's weird. All right, moving on. El Camino Christmas. El Camino Christmas. How fucking good was this movie? Oh no! Wait. Before we move on, I want to do something. I want to do something real time.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
I want to look up the Rotten Tomato score of Pottersville. We're gonna do this real time. I'm gonna type the words Pottersville Rotten Tomatoes into my phone. I'm gonna click on the first link, which takes me directly to Rotten Tomatoes. And the Pottersville Rotten Tomatoes score is 0%.
Oh, really?
With
Fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes.
six reviews. That means since this movie came out, I don't know, a year or 2 ago, 6 fucking people in the, I don't know, journalistic community watched it and was like, I'll write something about it, and that's it. And all 6 of them were like, shit.
However, the first one that you look down at, the critic. Hold on, the one you look at for critics' reviews for Pottersville. Pottersville is one of 2 things: the worst Christmas movie ever or the best movie ever. I'm gonna go with the latter. I'm a man of silver linings.
But he still gave it a shit rating.
That's fine. I don't give a shit. He went like it's either the worst Christmas movie or the best movie. I'd rather go with the best movie. I will agree. It's probably the worst Christmas movie.
He's probably
but
just
it's
trying
the
to
best
convince himself of that.
So in the
I doubt
audience
that.
score is 66%.
Audience
Is that
score is
just Pat,
66.
like
That's
That's not bad.
just Pat like
On
reviewing
you.
it like
Pat,
100
that's like
times.
half. That's like half.
Yeah, that's
of
like
the,
half. That's fine.
That's
Still
like
not bad.
look at the ratings. That's 200. That's 100 people out of 200 people said no.
And yeah, it's 218. So 100 of those reviews
175 people were like, this movie sucks.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. I love the story. I love the plot. I love Michael Shannon. I love Judy Greer, Ron Perlman, fantastic. Ian McShane. I will fuck anything Ian McShane walks next to. But the plot of this movie,
But not Ian McShane himself.
It just dragged. It just hits this pace that is like, oh my god, I'm gonna pull my eyeballs out of my head. Thank God Thomas Lennon is doing stupid shit right now. Like, it's rough. It's rough.
No, it's definitely, like I said, it's not the greatest movie, but it's a nice dumb movie that you can sit there and, well, for the most part, watch as your family. For the most part, when they're older, not when they're 5 years old.
Yeah, you're right. This could be a decent family movie. That's for sure. I don't know. Like I said,
Yeah, like when they're like 13. When you're like 13 and going like, yeah, kids, you want to know what a furry is? All right, I'll tell you. Make it weird.
Right.
And
that's when you have the sex talk
going on 30. Hashtag Judy Greer.
Oh boy.
13 going on 30.
She was. Yeah, that's right. She was.
She was in the movie.
Good circle. Good circle.
Okay.
All right. Moving on from Pottersville. El Camino Christmas, which in the last episode I said I was very excited to talk about, and watching it I was very excited. Let's see. 3-word review. Oh shit, I still didn't do one. 3-word review. El Camino Christmas is awesome shit. What? I just want to make a couple points in this movie. Okay, so I'm giving this a 3.5 stars. Like, this was awesome. Wow. This is like right. Like my favorite stuff that we've done on this podcast so far, I've given 4 stars. I've given this 3.5 because holy shit was this a ton of fun. Which I kind of thought before going in, which was great. I did look up the Rotten Tomatoes, 40%. Hey yo. God, I just the best thing about this movie was the acting. Like, these people were out acting this movie, like every single one of them, including Dax Shepard once or twice, which pains me to admit. But Vincent D'Onofrio is killing it, and Tim fucking Allen in this movie, which you re-listening to the last episode is kind of funny how often you spoiled like parts of this movie about how he's like the dad of the dude. Like you said that multiple times, which is still funny because, and a testament to how much I drink and how much I don't listen. Because when I was watching this, I was like, it took me halfway through this movie to go, oh shit, I think he's that dude's dad. But
yeah, I feel like it's kind of like it's
it's very on the nose.
Like from the
it's
first time they meet,
it is. Yeah, it's very yes.
When he like didn't feel bad.
No, I agree. When he like reopens that window and he's like, "Buy me a beer and I'll tell you about this guy," and I'm like, "Oh, you're the fucking guy." But anyway,
right? Yeah.
So my question is, where has this Tim Allen been my whole life? Like, why hasn't he just played this fucking like? I feel like Tim Allen leaning into I'm a drug dealer, drunk shithead. Like I would have watched this movie a long time ago. Like 10 years ago, I would have watched. Oh my! Could you imagine him releasing a movie like this 3 years after Toy Story? Like,
well, I think he just likes playing characters. Like he likes to get away from who he actually is. So that's why he's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, but why? Like this is. I feel like I don't know. Like, where has this Tim Allen been my whole life? I just want to see him play just shitbag, like deadbeat dad, drunk drug dealer characters. It's amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it. So yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars. The only thing,
nice.
I want to say 2 more things about this movie. First of all, Vicente. In your review of this movie, you said there's really no redeemable character inside this entire film. And counterpoint is Vicente. So I'm watching this movie. Vicente is the guy who owns the Dagobah gas station or whatever the fuck that place is. He's that guy, right? Who's been in other things. Like I've seen that guy in other things for sure.
Yeah.
But I love right away you love this guy. He needs her to fix this machine, keep his beer cold, buys the kid a Christmas present, even though she's just an employee. He buys his employee's kid a Christmas present. And just a good dude. And then the movie progresses. Pat, get your fucking horn ready, because
hold on.
The movie starts to kind of progress, right? And the stakes kind of up, and you start to realize who Tim Allen is, and blah blah blah. And they talk about this whole: if you're gonna go to the front door, do it. You're gonna get shot and killed. And Vicente runs to the front door in that one scene, and I thought he was fucking dead. And literally, I wrote the words, Vicente dies, what the fuck? And then 10 minutes later, crossed it out and was like, Vicente lives! Like, he was probably one of my favorite characters. Just a good dude, and he fucking... when they fucking killed him, I thought the main, white dude, the fucking guy who buys the Drano and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh... When Vicente gets shot trying to go through the front door, I was like, killed this fucking piece of shit. Because he just got this dude, who's an honest man, making a fucking living, killed. And I was like, no way this movie does this. And sure enough, 20 minutes later, Vicente's like, I'm good, I'm out of the hospital, and I'm banging Hispanic chicks again. I'm like, this is great. Viva la Vicente.
Viva la Vicente.
Okay, one more thing.
Another disclaimer next episode.
One more thing. I just want to say one more thing. So you alluded to the fact about the whole Dax Shepard trying to play the stupid fucking cop and bullshit and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I have 2 favorite moments with that whole thing. One where he comes out and he talks about securing the perimeter and talking to witnesses and shit like that. And what's his face looks at him and he's like, "Did you hit your head or something? What the fuck is this? You're acting like a real cop."
Oh yeah.
My second favorite fucking scene, favorite moment and quote from the entire movie is when they're after they get done shooting at each other across the fucking store, and they run back out in front. So funny, and they run back out in front of the car, and I can't remember what fucking Dax Shepard says, but he says something stupid, and what's his face is oh god, he says, "I'm gonna get a time machine and go back in time to when my cousin was dating your mother." and then I'm going to yank his pecker off right before he has the chance to create an idiot.
Classic Red
Just
Foreman.
fucking great. Just fucking great. Yeah. El Camino Christmas was fantastic. I'm going to watch it again several times. Yeah.
100 times?
Minimum.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is, guys.
Yeah, that's it for me. That's it. It was great. All right.
Okay. So, Pat, your turn.
So, I didn't go into the depths that Brian went to for his review of
No one does.
the Christmas movies. You know,
I was drunk.
he was rightfully drunk. I don't blame him.
Drunk, and I took extensive notes.
He was bored. So anyway, for the first one I'm going to do, I'm just to follow up the El Camino Christmas. I did really enjoy it. I definitely think it's a solid Christmas movie. And, you know, for me, definitely Tim Allen. Tim Allen was definitely the star of that whole thing. And I definitely think, realistically, Tim Allen should go more character actors and do more crazy, fun roles versus, versus the, oh, look, I'm Tim Allen. I'm Tim the Tool Man from Home Improvement. You know, quit doing that shit. And, stop doing that shit. You know, like Last Man Standing. Drop that shit and find some semi decent movies to star in, or at least do some B movies where you can go and have fucking fun doing weird, crazy shit. I don't know. That's my take on it. Holiday calendar though. I don't know what it was about it. I found it. I sat there. I watched the movie. I sat there and watched it again. I watched it a third time. For me, it was very forgetful.
What?
I watched it 3 times and I forgot the whole thing.
Holy shit!
Like I couldn't even tell you about the fucking movie because for me, it just did nothing for me. I don't know what it was. I can't even give it a rating because I don't know how I felt about it because I kept forgetting it. Like literally, I'd sit there and watch 20 minutes, walk away to go do something else, come back, rewind to where I was, go do something else again, come back, watch it again. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure for a couple movie it's decent, but for me, it just did nothing. So I can't give it any kind of rating. El Camino Christmas, I'd give it that one. I'd at least give a solid 3.5. A Holiday Calendar, I'll give it a 2. From what little I can actually remember, it's it's a family Christmas movie. It's about love and shit, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Love and shit.
It's about love and shit. I don't know. But yeah, for me, I just can't
review.
Yeah,
love and shit.
Oh,
love and shit.
That's good.
Or I can't remember would also be a great through review for it.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Either way, did nothing for me, so I'll be generous and give it a 2.
Okay.
That's all I've got, folks. Now it's Matt's turn.
So then oh god.
Real quick, I just want to interject real quick. Sorry, before you go. I just want to say the Rotten Tomato score with also an exact amount of 6 reviews, the Holiday Calendar comes in at 33%. Pottersville still sitting there at a solid 0. Okay,
again,
Matt, your turn.
Right. Worst Christmas movie or best movie ever? That's all I'm going to stick with.
Well, I'm just going to go off the tomato meter right there. So I gave you guys a movie that you both gave 3.5 stars. You guys gave me Pottersville and Holiday Calendar.
Yeah, you're right. You won. You won last week.
Yeah.
Last episode.
So basically, I started.
Take a fucking
Pottersville.
bow.
So Pottersville, I actually recommended to Pat when he was, I think he said that in the previous episode. I never actually finished the movie.
Dude, okay, I started Pottersville and stopped
How dare
it
you.
3 times. No fucking joke. I started it, stopped it, started it, stopped it, started it, stopped. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
So I actually I got to a certain point and then I think I just fell asleep. And I just never felt the need to rewatch it. But I was like, hey, Michael Shannon's in it. Ian McShane's in it. Pat will probably like it. So I recommended it to him.
Yeah.
And he did like it. I mean, he watched it 100 more times, so that's a lot.
I hate both of you.
So my
It's
3-word
fine.
review.
It's preference.
It's preference.
Because of that,
Watch you agree with me.
my 3-word review was slept through Shannon. Because I
Oh,
slept through
shit.
Michael Shannon.
Oh my god, that's good.
Sorry, Michael Shannon.
Wow.
You're still invited to Pat's birthday.
Yes, we'll find you.
So now to holiday calendar.
Oh.
I got further in Pottersville than I did in holiday calendar. I watched, and I think I was texting you guys because I had a few drinks.
I wasn't the only one.
It was a long week at work, but I had a few, and then I put it on. And I was like, I think I sent my 3-word review like right there. It was Netflix does Hallmark.
Yes,
because it felt like a very much like a Hallmark holiday film.
Perfect.
So I never actually got to the point where the doors were open on their own. But hey, from what you said, it would be a great horror film.
Yes, right? Okay.
And yeah, that's about it. Both your movies, I'm gonna give them both a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
That's fair.
And that's being nice.
I'll roll with that.
I think that's what I gave.
And I mean, Pottersville really disappointed me just because of the cast.
I gave Holiday Calendar too.
But just because the cast, Pottersville, like it seems like I don't know. There's a lot to work with there,
right?
And it just didn't work. It was disappointing.
Like I said, I blame the director.
But like good stuff with Judy Greer, like cool to see her being like a normal, logical woman.
Right. And as Pat, would say, women, you're normal too.
You're a bunch of normies too.
There's nothing wrong with liking a man.
There's also nothing wrong with liking a woman either.
Especially if you are a woman.
There's also nothing wrong with preferring non-binary or trans as well.
Oh, Christ.
You can prefer what you want.
Let's reel this back. Let's reel it back.
All right, so let's...
I'm sorry, we've been drinking. I've been drinking.
Well, yeah, speak for yourself, my friend. So let's go...
Are you sober?
Let's talk about this week's movies. So like I alluded to earlier in the episode, we switched, and instead of Netflix, we're doing Hulu.
We are.
It's kind of a run, thanks to Happiest Season.
Yep.
And so all three of us reviewed a Hulu, well, not original, but something that's on Hulu that's lesser known.
Mine's a Hulu.
So Brian's gonna review his Hulu original. We'll start there. All right, so go ahead, Brian.
All right, so truth be told, I wasn't super excited to jump from Netflix to Hulu because I feel like Netflix has a deeper, untapped category than Hulu does. Hulu feels very commercial to me, obviously because of their Disney connection. They gotta still kind of play within the rules in a weird way to me. But they actually don't. This is all in my head. So I wanted to tap into something that Hulu is doing within the last 2 years that I think is really fucking cool. And it's a horror anthology series that they do called Into the Dark. So Into the Dark is a series that is basically collaborated with Blumhouse, Jason Blumhouse of fame. All the best horror movies, all the best indie horror movies of the last, not even 5 years, maybe 3 years or so plus.
I'd agree.
So what they did was, Blumhouse basically got in collaboration with Hulu and decided they were going to do a horror anthology series in sort of in the vein of Black Mirror, but this is more direct horror and less sci-fi fantasy, that kind of thing. And the idea is they will do a episode based on the holiday around which that episode is released. So there's Christmas movies, Mother's Day movies, Independence Day movies, New Year's Eve movies, and these are all horror movies, and they're all within the reasonable, general consensus horror film time, 60 to 90 minutes, that kind of thing. So I wanted to do one of these. I just wanted to showcase something that Hulu is doing on their own original with Blumhouse. And I wanted to pick the right one for my first venture in this, because I'm going to do other of these, because at this point I think there's like 30 of these fucking movies, and I've watched probably about 10 of them. But I'm excited to watch more, and probably not so excited to watch others. But so my pick for this week is New Year, New You. First of all, one of my least favorite expressions working in retail is people fucking just saying dumb shit like that to me, like "see you next year" or "hey, new year, new me." Am I right? Yeah, I'm gonna hurt you badly. Just kidding.
Would not.
So New Year, New You. So I trying to get a play for which one I should do of these. And New Year, New You actually came up as number 4 in the Vulture list of the best of Hulu Into the Dark series movies. Number one is Culture Shock, which I will get to at a later date. But New Year, New You was the one I picked. I tried to do Puka, which is kind of the more well-known one, which is like the cosplay kind of not cosplay. What's like a sports team, like a mascot. Puka's like a mascot kind of weird horror movie, and the original one takes place around Christmas. So New Year, New Year obviously takes place around New Year's Eve, which is the most recent holiday for us, which is also another reason I picked this. And so this movie stars Carly Chaikin, who we are all familiar with, Mr. Robot. She is Darlene. She is Darlene on Mr. Robot.
On a side note, Mr. Robot is one of the best shows ever. You should watch it. If you're not watching it, you have no idea what you're missing.
So this is 2 episodes in a row where we have mentioned the name Sam Esmail, because I just said it, and also the name Mr. Robot, because if you're keeping score at home, the last film I reviewed, Holiday Calendar, is that what it was called? I don't remember. It was fucking terrible. Yeah. But Ron Savage-Jones, also in the first season of Mr. Robot. So I am 2 movies in a row with actors from Mr. Robot. You're welcome.
That's obsessed.
But yeah, so Carly Chaikin is in this movie. Let me pull up I was going to put the synopsis of this movie in my phone because it's also kind of weird in a weird way. But okay, so here's the synopsis for New Year, New You. Friends gather for a reunion on New Year's Eve to reconnect and reminisce. As they rehash old memories and revisit an old party game of Never Have I Ever, gripes and secrets they've been harboring manifest in nefarious ways. So this movie takes a turn, like a twist. Obviously, some of the girls have been plotting to get the other girls here to bring some stuff to light. So Carly Chaikin plays one of the main characters, Darlene from Mr. Robot. The other main character is played by Suki Waterhouse, who the name in itself sounded familiar, and I wasn't quite sure who she was, and she hasn't been in a lot of stuff, but let me give you a little Suki Waterhouse wiki. So Suki Waterhouse is 28 years old, and in her professional career, she has dated Bradley Cooper, Diego Luna, and she is currently dating Robert Pattinson. So all I can assume from this is Suki Waterhouse is officially the modern day Jack Nicholson of fucking Hollywood, because she is star fucking the shit out of everybody, which is amazing and good for her. She's great in this.
So she's really reached the stars then.
She's great in this. She's great in this, honestly. I'm a big fan. Carly Chaikin, by the way, watch this movie because I know you guys love Mr. Robot and we all love Darlene.
Fuck yeah.
But this movie is fucking rough if you were a fan of Darlene, because no spoilers, that's what we do in the next episode, but whew. So the other 2 friends are played by Kirby Howell and Melissa Berglund. So they get together on New Year's Eve and they basically just play a game of like Would You Ever and air the room. There's a bit of a twist on people being caught there for things they did in their past and other people taking it out on them. Fuck. 3-word review. I didn't do it again. Okay.
You're the
You have
worst.
a reputation.
Every single time. Every single time. I did it
Every
once.
time.
I did it once before the movie. 3-word review. My 3-word review for this movie is hath no fury.
Ooh.
Because this is for the ladies, let me tell you. The director is Sofia Takal, who did the remake of Black Christmas, like the 2019 remake of Black Christmas, which is, I mean, she's trying. I guess I want to give her credit for that. She's trying, but yeah, that's New Year, New You, part of Hulu's deal with Blumhouse on making just cool anthology fucking horror movies for them, and some of them are great, and some of them are not. This one's right in the middle of that. But I recommend it. Check it out. 4 stars. Joe Bob.
All right. Pat, you up?
Okay. Yes. My turn. So, my team. I picked one of the first. TV shows that Hulu ever had on their service, which is called Deadbeat. My 3-word review. Catch that, Brian? My 3-word review.
God damn it.
Is
Ooh.
is medium gets raunchy. Okay, so
Mine was better.
I think Pat likes his 3-word review a little too much. Like, did you hear? Like, he was like waiting for applause.
Right.
I was waiting for a giggle personally.
You did it on
anyway.
time, but mine was better.
Yeah. Anyway, Chevy. This is one of the first original Hulu originals that existed. It was one of the first ones in like 2014. Actually, one of the first 10 if you decide to count them out. I did. So it's a supernatural comedy created by Cody Helmer and Brett Connor, with Tyler Bean starring as the titular deadbeat, Kevin Pagliogli, a.k.a. Pack. I'm not 100% certain it's supposed to be a spoof off shows like Medium and Supernatural, but for spoofing, it does a pretty good job if that's the intention. Otherwise, it's just hilarious in general. Pack is a notorious slacker and very talented medium who tries to help ghosts solve their unfinished business and move on into the afterlife. He goes about it in a roundabout way, and quite honestly, he's not one of the smartest guys out there. He's usually battling it out with the fake medium Camille White, played by Kat Deely, and her assistant Sue Tabernacle, played by Lucy DeVito. I'll give you a hint as to who she's related to. And
Really?
Sue
That's
has
awesome.
a crush on Kevin, 100%. Usually joining Kevin on his adventures is Rufy, his drug dealer and friend, played by Brandy T. Jackson. Also, Cal Penn supposedly stars in this, but I haven't gotten that far yet, and I've only watched the first 6 episodes. I've enjoyed it so far. Once I get to the 30, I'll let you know.
Brandon T. Jackson of Booty Sweat fame from what's that movie? What's that shitty movie? Yes, there it is. Yeah,
He's also in what's the one with the Greek gods?
Percy Jackson.
That's it. Yeah.
yes,
Isn't he in that?
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
100%.
Yep, because he's the satyr.
Yes. That's it.
Good shit. Okay,
Yep.
anyway.
Anyway, to give you an idea how the show actually is, the first episode is called The Sexorcism.
Oh, wow.
The ghost of the episode died a virgin and wants to sleep with his first love to move on to the next life. I'll let you figure it out from there. I haven't gotten through the whole series, but 36 episodes of 30 minutes or less. It's a quick binge that I think is worth it. I personally give it a 3 out of 5. There's some issues with it that bring it down for me. Otherwise, the show is right up my alley in terms of weird, quirky, and a little supernatural.
Did you say 36 episodes at 30 minutes an episode?
30 minutes or less. It's not
12
really.
episodes.
You can really crush. I crushed through those 6 episodes in about 3 seasons, 36 episodes. I mean, it's really quick. It doesn't. I mean, I thought I was in episode like 5 when it turns out I was like 3 episodes in at that point. Or no, it was like episode
That's
5 and turns out it was
backwards.
episode
Okay.
6. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Okay.
So
Did you
I
give
mean,
it a rating?
it goes pretty quick. Yeah, 3 out of 5.
Ooh.
3 out of 5. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess it's my turn.
I guess.
Yeah, it is.
So.
Oh, yeah?
Oh God. So I noticed. I was quiet for both your reviews.
You were. What a mistake that was.
Just let that be known. So I noticed when I clicked on Hulu, I noticed there were a lot of documentaries, and none of us, as far as I remember, I don't think any of us have reviewed a documentary.
We have not.
So I saw one that tickled my fancy, and it was called Neat.
Ooh.
Tickle.
And Neat, if you can't tell, Neat is about it's the story of bourbon. It came out, it was a 2019 or 2018 documentary on bourbon. Kind of follows the history of it. Talks about like the normal things. It has, it has to be American made. Like pretty much anybody that works in the liquor industry or works within, or is a fan of liquor would know most of these things, like, American made. It has to be in white oak barrels, charred white oak barrels, et cetera, et cetera. So they go through that, just the typical history, and it also follows kind of. It's different than other documentaries on bourbon where they kind of go back and they talk about the history and they talk just historians and that's it. This one they kind of go to people that work at different distilleries, and in different aspects of the industry. They start with a farmer, then they go to a lady. Her name is I had it ready. Marion Barnes. She's the first female master distiller, and she started Castle and Key, if you've heard of it. Castle and Key bourbon.
Where?
But so they follow her.
Kentucky?
Kentucky, yeah.
Okay.
You got something to add?
No, I just yeah.
He was just legitimately curious.
Yeah, that's where she okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it basically it stays in Kentucky. Like it talks about how bourbon can be made elsewhere. A lot of people think there's that misconception that bourbon has to be made in Kentucky or in Louisville.
Yes.
But that's not true.
Yep.
It has to be American made. I think there was a law in 1964 because they noticed like a few countries had their own official drink. And, France had,
cognac, champagne.
Yeah, cognac, and Mexico, tequila.
Scotch.
Yeah,
tequila, Jalisco. Yes.
So they made, so whiskey, or bourbon, rather, was was the national drink of the U.S. But yeah, so it follows, like I said, it follows from farmer, distiller, so there's Marion Barnes, she ended up buying out an old abandoned distillery. And she kind of took that over, and it just kind of goes through like she's in the beginning process, but then you get interviews from a tour guide. His name is Freddie Johnson. He works at Buffalo Trace. He's a third generation employee of Buffalo Trace, and he's got a lot of heartfelt stories. Just a really great storyteller. Like you could tell why he's good at his job as a tour guide. And then you get, interviews from like Fred Noe of Maker's Mark, I believe. You get Tom Bullitt from Bullitt. You get,
sweet.
Just like the big wigs in the industry. You get, of course, Jimmy Russell. And if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see I have a picture of Jimmy Russell in my my desk photo. I got a signed bottle too. Just Bourbon Trail, just a little, big time shout out. He's a big fan of the pod.
Yeah.
No, he's worked. Awesome. He was the master distiller at Wild Turkey for 60 years. Can you imagine working at a job for freaking 60 years?
At this point in my life, I can't. Like that will never happen.
No, I can't either. Yeah. So either way, so he was. So they interview him. The big wigs. They go even down to like the salespeople, the people that are going. I shouldn't say down to, but they trickle down through it. But it goes through like a lady that she goes around. She tastes bourbon. Actually, she ends up going, and the most interesting thing, she goes to this bar where the bartender, he always joked, because Pappy was so hard to find, and just people kept asking, "Oh, where's the Pappy? Where's the Pappy?" Just tourists and whatever. Everyone's looking for it. I mean, you guys know.
course.
So he said if we ever get it, and this bar's known for making Jello shots, he goes, if we ever get Pappy, I'm gonna make a Jello shot of Pappy. So they ended up getting it, and they do a Jello shot of Pappy.
Oh my God.
Which, if you're not a bourbon fan, it's like one of the most sought after bourbons in the world.
Is it like a $20 Jello shot?
Oh, I couldn't even imagine what it is. No, it'd probably be more than
Probably
that,
40.
Right? But either way, so it goes through. It follows her. It even follows. Goes and they talk to like a group of people that are almost like they are archaeologists, and they'll go and they'll find like old where distilleries used to be that may be burned down in like 1907 or whatever, and they'll dig, they'll use metal detectors, kind of go through that history, just really interesting. And then you also have at the end they talk to a guy that he takes the old barrels, the used barrels that of course breweries won't take up, and he makes furniture out of them. So it kind of follows like the whole process, which is I think it's really well made, just really great storytelling, entertaining, and also they kind of break it up with Steve Zahn.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Steve Zahn shows up here and there, and I feel like he's almost been in every movie that I reviewed so far.
As he should
even
be.
like he's showing up in freaking documentaries. Like what is that? I mean,
good for Steve Zahn.
Are you stalking Steve Zahn?
Not purposely.
Does he need a restraining? Does he need a restraining order?
I don't know.
Should we be concerned for Steve Zahn?
Is he like in my top 5 favorite actors now? Like without even realizing it?
Yeah.
Poor Steve Zahn.
You just decided.
But either way, so
consciously.
it goes through the whole thing, and it was very interesting, and it was cool because I've gone on the bourbon trail for a little bit a few years ago with my brother, and it was kind of cool seeing that, and like the different, just kind of recognizing certain things, and they talk, it's just a lot of fun storytelling and whatnot. So my 3-word review is really hard. It's hard to make a 3-word review for a documentary. Fair. But I just put bourbon history Hulu.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, which I think that's great fucking marketing.
Totally
but either way, so my rating, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Actually, I really enjoyed it, and I looked up on Rotten Tomatoes, and so far it has 100%.
So, what we should start doing on a side note.
Based on how many reviews?
6. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on.
2.
Keep going. I'll tell you.
Okay. Because
100%
is. That's the problem.
Oh, it wasn't. That's not Tomato Meter. That's audience score. That's 31 ratings. Audience score.
Well, what's funny is, that's what's funny
how many
about
people are going to
Pottersville.
review a documentary?
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like, especially a documentary that's not that old. But the funny thing about Pottersville, It's like 2 to 3 years old, and only 6 people have written a review about it.
Right, and it's
only 6 critics. Only 6 critics.
And it's like an ensemble cast.
That doesn't make it better. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah. So
anyway,
all right. Well, that was I guess that was my review. So next we'll go into what you liked and disliked.
Oh baby. Okay.
About your film.
Oh boy.
Brian.
Okay.
Brian.
So, for New Year, New You, which, by the way, is easily one of my least favorite expressions. Like, I just hate... The only thing I hate more is when people on New Year's Eve go, see you next year.
Oh, everybody hates that.
Oh, God, I fucking hate that.
Even the people that say that.
But anyway. I think. Right, they're just being assholes. They're like, I'm just going to be an asshole right now, and I don't care. But what I liked was this movie kind of goes for it, man. Mm-hmm. Like, there are moments in this movie where you're like, oh, I'm not sure what's happening. Like, I feel like these people don't like each other that much. And then, like, something happens and you're like, oh, this chick fucking crazy. But, I like that. My dislike, the ads. I'm calling it out. Sorry, Hulu. Welcome to Hulu. The ads.
But it's not related to your movie, though.
You know what, though? I caught an ad at 23 minutes, 43 minutes, and like right before the end. That's 3 ads. Watching this movie just cuts right in, gives me a fucking shitty Hulu commercial. Man, and it was just not edited properly. You know, I mean, the thing that cable did back in the day was they would cut a movie at the right time to deliver you a fucking ad about Birdman auto insurance or Eagle Man. Eagle Man. Eagle.
Oh, fucking Eagle Man.
Something for you.
Dude, look at those low fucking rates. But
the low fucking rates.
But just yeah, they were good, and they would. And
Can we do a podcast just reviewing Eagle, like the old Eagle insurance commercials?
We each pick one and just fucking rate and review.
Yeah, I call Mancow one.
So Bella suggested for our next podcast, suggested when we go to Disney Plus that we each pick one of the Descendants movies. By the way. There's 3 of them,
I've
we
seen
each
all 3,
review.
Actually.
I've seen 2 so far. God bless you for seeing
niece.
all 3.
Right, it's my niece.
Right.
So,
but
I mean,
they're good.
We're looking for our next theme episode.
They're actually good. It's a cool idea. It's a cool idea. Like, oh, these are the kids of the villains of Disney movies. I'm like, fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, my dislike was that. No, my serious dislike was the cinematography of this movie. It's just fucking bad. New Year, New You. There's like these weird, or maybe cinematography / edit. There's like these weird, just like zooms and split screens, and it's like real choppy and fucking just. I mean, you guys are gonna watch it, so it's fucking weird. It just it kind of goes off the rails with that shit. But like before that, I really liked it. Like I said, it's Vulture's like 4th best of the Into the Dark series on Hulu, and it's good. It is good. I'm a fan of this movie. But yeah, the cinematography / editing is fucking weird. All right. Like dislike.
All right.
Oh yeah. So I'm
Wake up.
I'm still awake.
Welcome to the jungle. Sorry. You're gonna die.
I'll show you a jungle.
I don't even
it's
know
called the Amazon.
Oh God. You should trim that.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, Michael Shannon would be
You're
disappointed.
Welcome. Michael Shannon would be like, haha, let's get a beer together at Old Town Bar.
Okay. The Old Town name.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to my likes and dislikes now.
The name.
So for the things I liked,
because you got the bar.
Tyler Labine is naturally hilarious.
Just like that.
Shh. Anyway, Tyler Labine is naturally hilarious. Personally, he's one of my favorite actors. I feel he's super underrated, and I don't know how to say this, but I feel like he should have more roles than he does, and I feel like sometimes he gets shuffled off in the background. He's kind of like in modern Jonah Hill, where where Jonah Hill started, kind of in the background, and he's kind of doing background roles right now, but he should be more at the forefront because he's a really funny guy, and quite frankly, I would love to see more of him. I would love to see more of him overall, but this show is a good go for him as a lead actor. Anyway, not sure if it's supposed to be spoof or not, but I find it funny. Definitely a lot of hilarious moments. Definitely some other moments where it doesn't go through as much. But I found it very, very funny. It has a lot of heart. The moments that exist feel natural, but it has a lot of heart. The things I didn't like, the least natural moments stand out to me. So, there's a couple moments here or there where it's just kind of like, all right, you're trying a little too hard. Even with sometimes making Peck a little too dumb, I guess is kind of, there's dumb moments and then there's just, there's being lazy and then there's just being dumb. And it just feels like they're pushing too hard of the dumb part and just not going with the lazy part, which I feel like they should have done a little bit more. So they're pushing too hard, maybe trying too hard to go with the beat versus the dead. I guess, instead Deadbeat, I guess. Lucy DeVito is definitely underused in this. I feel like she has enough comedic chops between her mom and her dad to sit there and really, really be utilized, and I feel like they don't utilize her enough. Also, she's kind of cute.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hey,
Dirty dog.
I'm just saying. So some weird moments on the show. I don't know if it has to do with they were following TV rules at the time, but there's weird moments where they censor. Like, they censor fuck a lot, but they don't censor shit.
What?
Like, it's
On
active.
Netflix?
Like, it's active. Yeah, it's like active, like,
Hulu.
what the beep? What the
Or
beep?
Hulu. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what the beep? Are you beeping kidding me? What? Why the beep? I mean, pops up multiple episodes, but yet then shit gets through like not a problem. So so I don't know if they're following cable rules at that point, because I mean, obviously in their later shows that are Hulu exclusive, they don't do that. So I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like either they should go through and remove the censors.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
Into the
just
Dark
censor
is
everything.
straight R. Yeah.
Yeah, so clearly they didn't have a problem with it later on, but I feel like they should go through and just remove the beeps, because it's just, in my mind, it's really distracting. Especially as a streaming service with one of their originals is just super distracting, and
Yeah.
you know, that was probably the thing I disliked the most, was just censoring swear words and not censoring other swear words when they didn't have to do either, because it's a streaming service. So that's where I lost a lot of points personally.
So it's Tyler Labine you were talking about, or is that how you say his name? Or
Tyler Labine. Oh, and
Okay.
then
So he
also
was
Cal
in a
Penn
lot-
doesn't.
Sorry,
I
go
forgot
ahead.
to mention Cal Penn doesn't show up till season 3, which I feel is a travesty. But I know he was still
Penn,
working
Jesus.
with. Yeah, Cal Penn doesn't show up
Obama?
till season 3, which annoys me.
Wasn't he?
I like
in,
Cal
like
Penn.
in the Obama administration?
No.
He was in the
fucking
Obama-
Trump administration.
Cal Penn, no, he was with Obama
Cal
until
Penn was
2011.
with Obama.
Well, but he like carried over, didn't he? I feel like
No.
one of them.
No, he.
Was it not Cal Penn?
No,
Look
it
it
wouldn't
up.
have been him. No,
Look it up.
Yeah, no,
Cal
I looked it
Penn.
up last night. Cal Penn was with the Obama administration until 2009, or he started in 2009, and he stayed with them until 2011, and then he came out with the new Harold and Kumar in 2011, 2012. Actually, came out with 2, and then he was kind of
He was
he's
in
been
that
acting
whole.
ever
He
since.
was in the whole fucking weird Wanda Sykes. Like, we're gonna be part of Trump's bullshit early. Hold on. Anyway, okay,
All right, we'll leave it. So back to that Tyler Labine guy.
sure.
We got off track there.
Yeah.
He was the drunk customer in Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
Yeah,
And that was like the only time I laughed at that. Well, it was like that, and then like when Justin Long was at like the high school reunion. That was the only times I laughed in that movie. But he was also in a really underrated sitcom that was canceled called
Who?
Reaper that I used to watch.
Oh yeah, I love
I
Reaper.
kinda remember
Reaper's
that.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Reaper.
And he
I
was,
felt
yeah, he
Reaper
was like
could
Sons of
have
Tucson,
gone.
which I think. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I said Reaper. Reaper could have easily gone like another season or 2.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, because what is it? It had what's his name? Fuck. George.
the kid that was in like a bunch of
I don't care about him. No. Who? George Hamilton? No.
I think I know who you're. Yeah. who
Ray
you're
Wise.
thinking of.
Ray Wise. It had
Yeah.
Ray Wise.
Ooh.
Ray Wise was great. Ray Wise was
That was-
hilarious.
It was an interesting show, but. All
I
right,
digress.
so we'll move on from there. So to mine.
Yes.
Back to Neat, the story
Neat.
of bourbon. What I liked,
You're neat.
I liked the way it was presented. They did. There's a lot of like, I think documentaries now they all kind of do this. Well, they do these like drone pans and like these drone shots, and it's like slow motion, and there's always some like slow like explosions in the sky, like soundtrack, like a Friday Night Lights soundtrack, like in the background where it's just instrument, whatever. And they zoom in, and I like how they shot it. I like the kind of the way they told the story, how they didn't just focus on the history of it, but they actually talked to people in the industry, in different parts of the industry too. And it just was very unpretentious. Like, a lot of those, especially with whiskey, with bourbon in general, or even scotch, it just kind of comes off as pretentious. Like it's, I don't know. I think just the
It's
whole
not for
thing.
the schmucks like you and me.
Well, I mean,
It
speak
can
for your-
be. It can be. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what I meant by the documentary. It's very unpretentious. So Pat, you might even like it.
You say I'm a schmuck?
No, you said it. I didn't say you're a schmuck. You said it.
No, you said it. You know what? We're gonna have a dinner for schmucks.
Well, then you're Galifianakis for sure. So either way, especially
no, I'm Steve Carell. Thank you.
Are you? Oh yeah.
Okay, and then why is it always in my review that you guys fucking do that shit? All right, either way, so and also Steve Zahn. Steve Zahn is an easy thing to like. He breaks the documentary up. Not that it's a boring documentary, but it's still, he comes in at the right time and he makes it fun, And it's just, it's Steve Zahn. He's great. What I disliked is it didn't really show like kind of the hard work that goes into making the product, making bourbon. And they had little clips of them like filling barrels and like just like short. And I feel like they should have kind of talked to like, the production crew,
right? The Matts of the world.
Yeah, it might have been just because due to my job currently that I was really, taken aback by that. But yeah, I just feel like they should have focused more, and also they should have focused more on the like the craft, the smaller guys, because they're talking about how the history and how they grew, and how bourbon grew in the industry, and then it died out in the 80s, and then blah blah blah, and I feel like it would have been really cool to just really dive in on the craft thing. And they kind of did it with the Castle and Key with the startup, but at the same time, like I feel like they could have delved into a little bit more, and just I think it's people like to see all the steps involved, with creating that product.
Fair enough.
So like what brands did this focus on? Like Makers or Beam or some bullshit?
Yeah, it was like a lot of the big stuff. Four Roses, which is probably my
when was this
favorite.
Released?
2018.
Oh, okay. So Four Roses. Okay, that's cool.
So now the thing they didn't interview Julian Van Winkle, which I was surprised because he's like
because who the fuck cares?
Who cares about Julian?
Well, I think he's a nice guy. I'm reading a book about him right now, and he's actually a nice guy.
He's fine.
But yeah, I think a lot of people just kind of the whole Pappy thing. I think it's just a lot of.
I think it's more exciting to find out good bourbon you can get. Mm-hmm. That's more exciting.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. And that's the book I'm reading.
Reading about bourbon you can't get is not exciting.
No, yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool if he was there just to tell the story of like how he started with the wheated bourbon. Like he was one of the first to do it, if not the first. And it's just a big, it kind of progressed the, and just like the history. I feel like he's just kind of a walking encyclopedia. Considering like his grandpa was like huge in that industry, and then his dad did it and whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
I just feel like it would be cool to add him, but that's a whole different thing. Yeah, I mean they talked to other people that have been there, like Jimmy Russell. I said, who I'm personal friends with. Not really though. But either way, all right. So we'll go to the final.
Ooh, yay!
Area.
Yay.
And of the first episode of 2021. And this is going to be who you would recommend it for.
Yeah.
And
don't be so excited, people.
And if it was rewatchable. So we will start with B. Ryan.
So yeah, New Year, New You. I would totally rewatch this. And I'm actually kind of gonna into a theme of this whole Into the Dark series for Hulu, where I'm just gonna rewatch these fucking dumb shit horror movies like around the time of the holidays they're based on. I'm gonna watch Puka at Christmas. I'm gonna watch Puka 2 at Easter. I'm gonna watch, Culture Shock at New Year's maybe or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna watch these dumb movies on Hulu. And because it's just a cool shit anthology horror series. And I love horror anthologies just as much as you. You love Trick or Treat. I love Trick or Treat. Like
Trick or Treat is great.
Just horror anthology is just fun in general. The A to Z on Netflix. You guys watch those? Those are good too. Call back to our old stream. Call back to the old stream.
How old?
Yeah. Oh, and who am I gonna recommend this movie to? I'm gonna recommend this movie to girls who are frustrated with their besties.
Interesting.
Because girls,
that's most of our listening group, I think.
100%. It's at least 40%.
Yeah,
just girls who, you're just mad at your bestie, bro, and this movie will make you live those fantasies. Here we go. Girls. You want to kill him? You want to take him down? You want to torture him? This is your movie. You mad at your bestie?
About Pat.
You mad at your bestie, babe?
I'm never mad at my bestie.
Oh,
mad.
Babe. Disclaimer.
We'll approach it in the next one. But yeah, girls.
Sinatra.
Girls. Yeah. Check it out.
Motley Crue right now.
I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna get the missus to watch this movie, and I just want to see, because just girls just have that shit where they're like, I'm so fucking mad at my best friend over some dumb shit. Like, it'd be really cool if I could stab him. Girls say that, right?
I've heard it a few times.
Sure, man. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny. I've heard it a few times.
There you go. You want to take out your bestie? Chill, bro. Smug a bar?
See, with Matt, I just want to cuddle him when I get mad. I just want to cuddle Matt when I get mad. So
instead of stabbing your best friend, watch a Hulu original.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Don't slender.
That's it. I think
don't slender man your friend's friend. Watch a movie from Into the Dark.
Ooh.
Next.
Oh.
All right. On that note, Pat.
I'm not sure how to follow
Speaking
that one
of
up.
killing your friend in darkness, Pat.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd personally, I need to recover from that for a second because that got a little dark.
Recommend it to your bestie.
For me personally, yes, I would.
My cousin Vinny, all of a sudden
getting a little clamped.
What's her name?
I put on Beastie Boys and that's it. Ruined everything. He went full New York.
We went full island, babe.
Full island. Anyway, so in terms of rewatchability, I would definitely rewatch. I would definitely rewatch Deadbeat. It's not something I would probably bring out all that often. Probably just something to be like, you know what? I want to watch something super dark. I want to watch something lighthearted, silly, goofy. Get a few laughs in here or there. So I'd definitely watch it. Like I said, just wouldn't be super often. Just be one of those you know what? I just watched something super depressing. I want something funny, and you're guaranteed to at least get a few laughs. Not every joke hits, but when they hit, they hit. And then in terms of who I would recommend it to, people who like Supernatural, something quirky, something, something that's just there for a laugh, something you can kind of put on the background, kind of watch for a little bit, laugh at, move on. But you can also sit there and binge it and still have a good time. The other day I was sitting there folding laundry and sitting there watching it. I've crushed through 6 episodes and 5 loads of laundry, no problem. If that kind of tells you anything, but it's a really solid show. I definitely feel it's underrated. I feel Tyler Bean is underrated.
He is.
And that's the end of my TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
He's a Tucker and Dale guy, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely one of the Tucker and Dale guys.
What a great movie.
I love
There
that
should be a
movie.
sequel
Yeah.
to that movie.
I think my girlfriend hates that movie.
Oh.
Which I'm like,
Oh, poo.
there's a bunch of movies. Wasn't I just started watching Cobra Kai the other night
What?
or last
so
night?
Good, so good.
So good.
Sorry,
She
what?
wasn't interested.
Sorry, what?
She wasn't interested.
Really?
Well,
Yeah,
well,
again, love my girlfriend. She's my favorite person in the world outside of Matt and Brian. But I was just like, you
is
didn't
go-
like Cobra Kai?
You should help her find her soul.
What the fuck are you doing, Brian?
What about
yeah. Is he like? Are you fondling the mic? What is this?
I think he's fondling Billy Zabka.
Oh, I think he's just doing like a reenactment of Pat every podcast until he got this this new setup.
Hey, have you heard
Yeah,
anything
guys,
from me?
it's Pat.
Hey guys, this is bad. I'm
All
gonna
right.
sit here and touch everything.
It's Pat.
It's Pat.
Pat.
Pat. So
Hey Pat.
hi, my name's Pat.
We
All
gotta
right, so
stop
my
drinking
turn,
while we're
right?
doing this.
Hey,
Yes, I guess so.
speak for yourself.
Are
I mean, the rest of
recording
us
an
have to-
episode?
Yeah, the
I
rest
think
of
so.
us have to deal with.
Yeah, somebody
with
close
Pat,
this out.
So we have to drink. All right, can I do my
Wait,
fucking
don't.
recommendation?
Yeah, let Matt finish his thing before you shut it
Christ.
off.
We're still doing stuff here?
Yeah.
Okay, go
I mean,
Matt,
most
still
of us
gotta
are. So my recommendation for neat are, of course,
Oh,
fans
yeah,
of
neat.
bourbon
Who likes
or
bourbon?
any craft industry, anything. If you like just history, if you like aerial shots of
history.
nature, like if you're
love
really
nature.
into like Aerial America, if you haven't watched that, I'd love that.
Wait, Air
show.
America with
Air America?
No,
with
Ariel.
with
Wait, like
Robert Downey
Ariel's in the middle?
Jr. and
Wait, Ariel America? Ariel from like The Little Mermaid is in the middle of America?
Is that what it was?
No, it's Aerial America. They do like drone footage of different states, and they talk about the history of it. It's good.
All right,
You
that's
should
actually kinda neat.
I recommend that you guys
Aerial
watch it
footage?
and
Jesus.
maybe stop.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know.
If I'm trying to fucking spy on somebody, I'll watch that.
I mean, it's
Hey.
nature photos.
Hey.
So I don't know who the fuck you're gonna
We're
spy on in a Smithsonian Channel like original. But
Well,
go
then
ahead,
fly the
Brian.
drones. Then let's get those drones over Baghdad. B
You mean over
Oh.
DC?
B.
Do you mean over DC?
All right.
Don't
So
mean a thing
before-
if you plan to hit something. Okay.
So before this just goes off the rails, people that have gone on the bourbon trail. I think Pat's broke a glass. But people
Yeah, that was
have,
dangerous.
that have gone on the bourbon trail or are thinking of going on the bourbon trail, you should watch this. Rewatchable. I'm gonna do this real fast because I see things going wrong here like quickly. Yes, it
There's
is
nothing going wrong.
rewatchable, but I watched it multiple times. I mean, we're all in the industry, so maybe it's a little different. I think maybe if people aren't in the liquor industry or whatever, I think you still appreciate it just because. There's a lot of heart to it, and you could tell like that the Freddie Johnson, one of the guys that's introduced at the beginning, is the Buffalo Trace guide, and he talks about a story that's really heartfelt, where his dad had like the 6 millionth barrel of Buffalo Trace. He had worked there for years and years, and as a thank you, Julian Van Winkle gave this Freddie Johnson a bottle of 23-year-old or 20-year-old Pappy to share with his dad. So he poured a little bit in his dad's glass, poured a little bit in his brother's glass. His brother's there, and poured a little bit in his glass, and then he put the stopper on top of the bottle. And his dad goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just trying to preserve it so we can do this again." He goes, "Oh, you never preserve a bottle that you could share with family and good friends." So he shares it, and they end up talking, and he said it's the first time in years that the three of them had just chatted and talked about stuff that they hadn't done, or they did that he hadn't known, and stuff that they knew that he did that he thought they didn't know, and just kind of going, and then he ends it with 9 months later they were both gone. So it's like,
shit.
and it's talking about how fragile, the only fragile part about bourbon making, is just the people, because it takes time.
Yeah.
So it gets deep.
Wow.
It's
That's good.
but it's just the storytelling's really great, and they have great guests on there and great people that really know their information. So I enjoyed it.
Man, I swear, I'm gonna say something. I swear to God, if you win the next episode, if you win this episode again, I'm gonna come over and take your Uma Thermos.
I'm still waiting on my Uma Thermos. That lost in the mail, Brian. What's going on with that?
Federal's a little behind. It'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking
Is
federal.
there something going on? Like, is there something big going on?
Yeah, there's something big.
Yeah.
There's delays.
Yeah.
The sorting facilities in Georgia, they're a little behind.
You think
Priorities, bro.
You think Uma Thurman showed up and she heard our podcast and she's like, she's gonna stop it? Like,
Oh my God,
mid-transit?
someday. Could you imagine? Like a C&D from Uma Thurman? Like,
I mean,
she's
that
like she sends us a fucking email that goes, "You cannot make thermoses with silhouettes of my characters on them."
But I think
I will actually print out that C&D, frame it,
Yeah.
and sell
Yes.
that. I will sell that to
Yes.
people.
if that
Her
happens,
C&Ding us.
but if that happens, I think we could say we made it.
Yo, 100%.
No,
Yeah.
Done.
no. What
Game
if?
over.
No, what
Game
if? It,
over,
what
bro.
if it was,
Take that, Ryan Hawk.
but what if it was her
Game over,
lawyer?
man.
What if it was her lawyer, and she calls us up and goes like, "Hey guys, I just want to let you know your show's funny. I'm gonna let it go because it's fucking hilarious, and you should go with it."
Even better.
Yeah, I don't think
Even
that's
better.
gonna happen. Let's
No.
be realistic.
She's gonna want credit.
It's happened a
She'll
few
like that
times to a
Pat-
few people.
She'll be like, I'd let it go, but that Pat guy comes off real creepy, so
Yeah.
you guys owe me. Like,
No, she'd be like
$500,000.
that pack.
First of
that
all-
pack
first of
guy's-
all, First of all,
that
we're
pack guy's white trash.
we're 2 steps up in the Uma Thermos. Uma, what's her name? Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman.
We're 2 steps up in the Uma Thurman category because one, Uma Thermos. Obviously, we're big fans. We're celebrating
Right.
her. We're putting silhouettes of her on thermoses and selling them. 2, fuck Ryan Hawk. Am I right?
Oh,
We are-
true,
We
yeah.
are a fuck Ryan Hawk
Yeah,
podcast.
And also,
I didn't realize we were
Pro
fucking Ryan.
Uma.
I didn't realize we were fucking Ryan Hawk's brother.
to our
That's weird.
that,
Like Ethan?
Yeah.
to our followers,
Not a
just
guy.
know that Uma Thurman is just normal. She's she's like the rest of us. She's
Yeah.
She's
100%. 100%.
and
If we
she's
Team-
just normal,
if we sat-
man.
Team Thermos. Like fuck
Yeah.
Hawks, Team Thermos.
if
That's
we
gonna be
sat
another
there
shirt we're gonna make.
if we sat there and went, yeah, she'd be
Oh,
like,
shit.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna end this now.
Yeah, that's probably
This is way.
great time.
This is way. We have overstayed our welcome.
pretty much. So I'm gonna do a little sign off, I guess.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the first episode of We're Going Streaming in 2021.
Oh yeah.
We hope to have you follow us further into the stream.
Hulu.
Deep dive the Hulu stream. We're catching fish. We're catching salmon. Hulu salmon.
Oh.
Oh yeah, baby.
Hulu. Oh. Is that it?
Well, Pat's still talking, but he's muted, and this is the greatest thing ever.
What
I
is
feel
happening? Why, Pat?
Let's
why
live in
are
this
you...
moment.
Hold on.
Can we live in this moment? I love this. This is
Why'd you guys meet me?
I did
Oh,
not
fuck.
do that. That was weird. All right.
I'm
Pat. We've said our piece. Say your piece, and we're signing off. Go.
yeah. Say your piece, Pat.
I was saying, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
There
We
it
love
is.
you. Good night, America.
I mean, we're in
Wow.
New Zealand.